So hello to everyone. Thank you very much for listening to my webinar presentation today. My name is David Langridge. I look after the partnerships, alliances and market development at a company called Schooler. And what I'm going to be demonstrating today is the mConnect application that we've built, which essentially allows you to bring Moodle into Teams, which has been written by us. A little bit about Schooler as a company. Schooler are based in Norway. Were founded in 2015. We are probably better known for our solution that we built a number of years ago called Schooler Learning Tools, which is aimed at the primary and secondary school market, which is built within Office 365. Because of that work we did with Microsoft and the Teams implementation we did, Microsoft were very impressed and therefore commissioned us to build the mConnect app for them to connect Moodle and Teams together using some of the technology that we developed over the previous years. So as a company, we're totally focused on education. We've got offices primarily in the European market, headquarters in Norway, offices in UK and Sweden, plus we've also got an office in the USA, very close to Microsoft's headquarters. But we serve customers across the globe. Now, what I want to do today is to go through the Moodle and Microsoft partnership so you understand how that works and how it operates, covering the ability to teach anything to anyone from anywhere. With the global pandemic that we're all suffering at the moment, it has changed the way that education is delivered today. And what this system allows us to do is to bring together a really good learning management system called Moodle and a really good collaboration and platform called Teams, and combine those together to provide the best of both worlds, to enable you to teach anything to anyone from anywhere, regardless of whether you're in class or remote or a mix of both within your institution. The aim really is for you to become superstars in your particular field so that you can showcase how this actually works in a real life environment to drive activity and improve the whole lot of students and also the lecturers and educators to ensure that they're delivering what the students need within their institution. Key thing for us is to provide this hassle-free collaboration with students. The ability to utilize all the power of Moodle or the power of Teams and actually enable that to really start to drive a really good collaboration between lecturers, professors and students. Support from us as a trusted Microsoft and Moodle partner. So we provide that support for institutions and for customers directly. This is not a system which is a deliver and we then leave. This is very much an innovative solution. One of the key things that we said to Microsoft when they asked us to build this was that we wanted to continue to develop the product, the solution, to ensure that it grows and we get feedback from customers, and so they help us to enhance that system in the future. We very much see this as one solution covering the needs of the institution, regardless of whether it's a school, college or university. This system is meant to work in lots of different scenarios. And of course, to be at the forefront of your industry, delivering excellent teaching and learning to your students to ensure that they are getting what they need out of their education environment. So how does this Moodle learning, Teams collaboration, Office 365 productivity all work? What we've done is provide you with a system that enables single sign-on, the ability to run and use the system simply. So no need for multiple logins. Once you're logged into Office 365, you're also automatically logged into Moodle and gives you full access to the system. So you haven't got to remember more passwords and usernames, etc. As far as the collaboration goes, you've got full access to all the Teams environment, all the calls, the video chat, the ability to access OneDrive, calendars, etc., all one click away. One workspace, the ability to then, as I said, run the two systems together. So what we do is we actually fetch all the Moodle information and run it from within Teams itself. So before that, we're actually then creating all of your teams from your Moodle courses automatically. All the students, all the teachers and lecturers and educators get brought across into teams, and you've got a corresponding team set up for the relevant Moodle course. So access to all of your topics, assignments, etc. are all shown within Teams. And last but not least, a very strong management portal to allow you to manage what is done within the system to ensure that you've got full access and you're in control of what's happening within your environment. This deck, it will be available for you to download and access later. There's some kind words here from one of our customers, funnily enough, in the UK, that actually has said one of the key things that was very easy and intuitive to use. The integration gives them the best of both worlds without having to compromise. So as a result, they felt that their virtual learning environment, their learning management system, and the integrated software functions in harmony with Teams rather than it feeling a separate entity, which was very valuable for them. So what do we actually do? How does this actually work? So what you've got is you're integrating these two leading platforms into one view. As you can see in the middle block there, we then apply the mConnect app. It becomes a personal app within your Teams environment. So you then get full access to Teams and full access to Moodle. We provide easy to follow step-by-step setup instructions. So if you're wanting to set this system up yourself, you've then got the ability of doing that following a step-by-step guide within our website. If you prefer us to do the onboarding and system setup for you, we have got that capability, and you can contact me via my email address and I'd be more than happy to get that set up for you. If you are doing it yourself or you're wanting to monitor what we're doing, you can then see that setup progress within the system. So you get full access to this management portal. You can then see and manage your administrators within the system, giving them the relevant permissions, what they're allowed to do or not allowed to do. We then take your users in both your Active Directory within Office 365 and your Moodle system and match them together. We don't modify them. We don't create a separate database. We're just providing an integration match between those two systems. Once you've got that matched, you can then take reports so you can see if any haven't matched to then address that particular need. And or it could be that you've got a number of Active Directory users that don't need access to Moodle, and so there would be a difference in those two numbers. This is then synchronized on a regular basis, so you then always maintain those two systems are being synchronized. After you've successfully installed, or we've successfully installed for you, you then run a routine called the Batch Team Creator. What this does is it allows you to set up a set of criteria. You can see that small graphic on the right hand side, that is a template, and you can set up multiple templates dependent on your requirements for each faculty's systems and how they're wanting to be set up. And what it does is then when you set up these teams from your Moodle courses, it then looks at that template to then switch on or off different things, such as do you want to create your courses, create your teams from your courses or from your topics. Depends on how you're wanting to set up and how you've got your Moodle system set up. So you've got lots of different switches you can switch on and off, and those can be different for different faculties, different courses, etc. What we then do is we then link existing teams and or create new ones. So if you've been proactive with teams already and you've got two separate systems, so you've got some teams that are based loosely on some of your Moodle courses, you can actually create a link between those two so that it will work effectively together. It will then check the users to make sure the right students are there, to make sure that the right lecturers and professors are there as owners of that particular team. Otherwise, you can actually then go and create new teams from your Moodle courses. And it does that on a batch basis. And you can then go through and build all of those teams automatically, literally at the click of a couple of buttons. Single sign-on is fully operational, made fully operational with OpenID Connect. So that is a standard, well-documented solution to provide you single sign-on. And then you've got the ability, once that's set up, as I said, to not have to have a separate login from Teams and for Moodle. One connects to the other. Once all that is done, you've then got your Moodle content presented within your Teams environment. So here we've got the Moodle dashboard. We've chosen to keep the Moodle dashboard as it appears in your standard Moodle system. So you've got the ability of seeing that information nice and easily. So the usability for customers coming to Teams that are maybe not familiar with Teams, but they are familiar with Moodle, they're looking at things they're used to seeing. Full access, as you can see on the left-hand side, to things like the dashboard, the calendar, all the different files, etc. within your Moodle system, all accessible nice and simply within the environment. You can then also find courses and add them to Teams if you want to. So if you've done that batch process and you need to do something on a one-off basis, you can do that simply. You can give the teachers the permission to do that, or that can be done at an admin level in the IT department of your institution. Depends how you're wanting to set that up. You can then see all of the course content, the topics, the tests, etc. As you can see, clicking on that, the option on the left-hand side of the screen, we can see very clearly we've got a Moodle course here called Vikings, the history of the Vikings. Clicking on the Viking test, it then opens up in another tab, and we then have got the ability of seeing that on the screen. Talking of tabs, you can access courses from tabs within the system, and you can add further tabs. If you've got the correct permissions, then as a teacher you can set up multiple tabs within that Teams environment to give the students access to further things nice and simply within the Teams environment. You can also customize tabs for easy access. So for example, showing things like calendar, course feeds, course details, all that can be added within the system to make it more usable and easy for the students to access. If you want further information, then there's my contact details. So dl@schooler.com is the way to reach me, and we've got access within our systems. So I'm more than happy to give you access to further demonstration, to actually have a look at the system, see how it operates, and we'd be more than happy to set up a personal one-on-one demonstration if that's something of interest. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Hopefully you find this presentation useful, and we look forward to talking to you in the future. Thank you very much. Goodbye.